Hi, welcome to Abby's Book Reviews. This is the May wrap up. It's a few days late and I apologise for that. And it's because work is a bit crazy at the moment and it's probably going to be a bit crazy for the next couple of weeks. But I managed to get through a lot of books this month thanks to a week-long readathon and also the fact that most of the books I read were MG, which really helped me out. So without further ado, my first book of the month was A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J Maas. This is the ACOTAR novella, happens after ACOWAR, Court of Winds and Ruin, and it's super tiny. It's pretty much a case of finishing one storyline before kind of starting the next. I really loved the excerpt for the next book, and yeah, that's out next year. Kind of can't wait already. But yeah, it is definitely just like a little filler book, and I really enjoyed it, but I know quite a lot of people that didn't, so make your own opinion. The Ice Dragon by George R.R. Martin. This has been on my bookcase for over 2 years, so I finally got around to it. Again, it is super tiny, it's about 100 pages, but I love it. It's so cute and I am so glad they're making it into like an animated film or TV thing. I think it's going to be super cute, and yeah, definitely recommend it for any age. Like, you don't have to be MG to read this. It is so kind of might answer some questions within Game of Thrones as well. Coraline by Neil Gaiman. I have never read Neil Gaiman before this book and I am so glad that I finally have. This is super weird though, like I'm glad I didn't read this when I was younger because it would have probably freaked me out. Arisha and the End of Time by Roshani Chokshi. This was one of our books for the month on TBR and Beyond as well. I really enjoyed it, learning some, I want to say Indian, Hindu mythology was super cool, and having it like modern times, and yeah, it was really awesome. I love the fact that it's getting different mythology out to younger readers. I don't know what else to say about this. I really loved it. Nevermore by Jessica Townsend, and I am so glad I finally picked this book up. I know it's not that old, but I don't know why I didn't do it sooner, and I cannot wait for Wondersmith to come out. Yeah, just such a different take on, I guess, magic and fantasy. Really, really enjoyed it, and as I said, I cannot wait for the next one. The Wizards of Once by Cressida Cowell. This is so cool, and I am so glad the second one is coming out soonish. I think it's this year that's coming out, but yeah, it's pretty awesome. I can definitely see that it's like got links to How to Tame Your Dragon. Like, you can tell it's written by the same author even if you didn't know it was. Super cool, and cannot wait to see where the story goes. The Company of Eight. It was an e-arc. It's by Harriet Whitethorn. I got it off NetGalley. It is super cool. It's about this girl that wants to be on the circus ship and doesn't make it, so she decides to go to the Isle of Women instead, and then it's about what happens on her way to the Isle of Women and then afterwards as well. It's super cool, and I am really hoping there is a sequel to this. It is left open that there can be, and I know this has only just come out, but I super need the next one like now. Ice Wolves by Amy Kaufman, and again, I don't know why I'm reading so many that are the start of series, because oh my gosh, all these are so good. I need the next ones like now. Yeah, really interesting take on, I guess. It's not even good versus evil, but I suppose it's different sides seeing their way as the only way that's right. Oh my gosh, twists, I love them. Love, love, love. And yeah, I don't know which side I would be on, wolf or dragon. I think both would be quite cool, and like, I do love wolves, but I also love dragons. But then I am normally cold, so I would say probably I'm a Wolf. Warstorm came out in the middle of the month and I picked it up straight away. It's by Victoria Aveyard. It is the last in the Red Queen series, and holy moly is it such an end to a series. So good. I know quite a few people were, I guess, disappointed by it. It is all wrapped up at the end, maybe to not some people's satisfaction. I'm quite happy with how it ended. I'm glad that's kind of how it ended, but at the same time I wish some other stuff had happened. But yeah, I am happy with how it ended and I kind of want a sequel. I know we're never going to get it, but I would love to know what happens in the future. And then in one night, because of the readathon, I read 7 books. I can't remember the order, so I'm going to do one first and then I'm going to do the others. So I did read this in the middle of the series that I'm about to show you, but this is another e-arc that I got off NetGalley. It's The Mirror and the Mountain by Luke Aylen, and yeah, it is pretty cool. I'm a bit bummed seeing the intro and like reading that and finding out that it's based on like stuff from the Bible. I wish I hadn't known that, because all I was thinking pretty much the whole way through was about how like Narnia it was, which is kind of annoying. I wish I just read it for the story. I really did enjoy the story, but at the same time I was a bit like, well, this relates to this and you know, that kind of thing, which again, as someone who doesn't believe in that anyway, it was a bit annoying, but I did enjoy it for the story and go in just for the story and forget I said anything about the Bible. And then the rest of that night I read the first 6 in the Worst Witch series. So Worst Witch, The Worst Witch Strikes Again, A Bad Spell for the Worst Witch, The Worst Witch All at Sea, The Worst Witch Saves the Day, and The Worst Witch to Rescue. So year 1, year 2, year 3. So each book is one of the terms, so winter term or summer term. I read this series when I was little, when I was at school about 20 years ago, and I absolutely loved it. And I watched it when it was on TV, and yeah, I just knew I had to like reread this, and I'm pretty sure at least one of these is newer, so I've never read it before. I'm not sure if it's these or the last one, but yeah, I really enjoyed going back and basically reliving my youth. And then the next day I read The Worst Witch and the Wishing Star, which is the last so far in the Worst Witch series. This is the first half of year 4, and I really liked how this one turned out, and Miss Harbroom is not as bad as she seems. But then I suppose that's a bit like Snape. That Snape isn't as bad as he seems, obviously depending what side you're on. Then I went on to Amelia Fang and the Barbaric Bull by Laura Ellen Anderson, and this, I think we worked out, is written by my co-worker's son's girlfriend, which is quite cool. I'm not saying that as fact because I don't actually know, but I think. So yeah, this is super cute. I love all the illustrations all the way through it. I love the story. Amelia and her friends are so cheeky. I love it. I wish this series had been out when I was little, because it is exactly the kind of book that I would have loved when I was little. And yeah, I'm just so glad that girls now can have vampire stories when they're, you know, little, and not just when they're teenagers like we did when Twilight came out. So yeah, I'm super happy about this. Amelia Fang and the Unicorn Laws, which is the second in the Unifang series, and oh my gosh, just being able to see the other kingdom was super cool, and getting to meet more characters, following stuff up, and on the back it says about a third book, and I can't find any details for it on Goodreads, so I'm super stoked for that to come out. The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. This took me quite a while to read. which I'm a bit bummed about. It just didn't grab me fully. But once I got into it, I think it was like pretty much the second half I read in one sitting, purely because I had the time. And yeah, I definitely loved that part. But yeah, I would have preferred to read it more in like one sitting than about the 20 that I did. That is so weird but good, and I loved all the elements with the ghosts and, you know, getting the history at the same time about how they all know different things because of the ages they lived in. It was super cool. My third arc of the month was The Spell Speakers by Day Leto, and I didn't realise when I requested it, but it is a novella. It's an intro into the series and the world, and actually I loved it. It is really cool, and I really don't know how to describe it. It was a really interesting take on magic, and it's interesting getting to know a new world in just a novella rather than a full-size book. It is 108 pages, so to learn about the like magic system, to learn about the politics, to learn about the world, all within 108 pages, and to have a story in that as well, was so well done. And I cannot wait for the series to actually come out. This has really intrigued me and I want to know more. And then I'm going to put this one in my May wrap up anyway, even though I haven't finished it yet. And as I am recording this, we are on Sunday the 3rd of June, but it is not in my June TBR because I'm already reading it. I started it in May, it is going in May. And that is Legendary by Stephanie Gaber. This is the second in the Caraval series, and I got the Oracle, which I totally wasn't wanting, but having actually read this, or at least started reading it, I am actually super glad I got that one because it's pretty important. I got to a bit that I didn't want to put it down and I had to go back to work yesterday, and all day today I've been like, I need to pick it up, and I haven't, so I am hoping to basically read this until I fall asleep and hopefully finish it before I fall asleep today. That is my May wrap up, and I read 22 books this month, last month, seeing as we're in June. But yeah, oh my gosh, I am amazed with myself that I managed 22 books. So we shall see what June brings. I think I've got about 14 books I want to read. No idea if that's going to happen, but we shall wait and see and hope. So enjoy the book you're reading, and I will talk to you soon.